Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, bigger, better, good God and truth of your lives. And just to recap on what I was stating today, God is the good of all. From the inside out, at 360 degrees, only one more positive than all negativity, Christ-like. With the thieving Holy Spirit out, more positive energy of the Adam man evolved, of all I am, than a negative man I always am. The thieving Holy Spirit of God, of all mankind's negativity to one neutral nothing, I absolutely positively am. Again, if you've seen anything that I've stated, you will know that I state that the only light, joy, warmth, good God, or truth, holy with spirit, all will ever know or be, is the only state more positive than all negativity. It's the substance, durability, and solidness. It is the value and volume of all shape, form, and mass of the here and now of reality check, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better than all negativity. Negativity is the state that all embodied matter is stated with decay and disintegration, static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined. And if a man or a woman in a constant subtraction to the good truth of their shape, form, and mass, only being more positive than that, only subtracting themselves out of reality check to one neutral nothing, just negative of them here and now, infinitely with the devilish hills of them. All Adam matter evolved, creation of existence that states more positive than negative can't be destroyed. That's by the physics and laws of all known matter, creation of existence. And that is the example of the life of Jesus Christ. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die of Christ crossing more positive than negative. That does not happen. Not one thing, creation of existence, can be destroyed for that as far as Adam matter evolved is concerned. Again, all things creation of existence is made of bonding atoms. And these atoms only bond two or more Christ-like to make the good truth of God of every shape, form, or mass you can think of, one more positive than all negativity. Every dimension of time and space you can think of, and every shape, form, and mass of the God, of Allah, of all, for everlasting peace I am. Okay, the definition of the good truth of God, of the life of Jesus Christ, one who never dies negative to one neutral nothing, one who only did absolutely positively bigger and better than all negativity that could destroy his shape, form, and mass to one neutral nothing. The only way anybody of anything can be destroyed to one neutral nothing, just negative of them here and now. See, like I explained in my last video, Christianity and Gnosis is different. Christianity is faith-based, and even though they state that they believe in Jesus Christ, they believe that Jesus died for their sins, which is a hallucination to the reality of Gnosis, because Gnosis is knowledge, and the knowledge of Jesus Christ is this. If you've studied anything about his life, you will see he was a man who only crossed one more positive than all negativity, holy with the Spirit of God, good as truth, okay? Now, in reality, you can't kill God, good as truth, okay? That does not happen. And that's why the thief believed Jesus and stole his life back from that fool of faith, hanging himself out to one neutral nothing at the crucifixion. He was the one who rolled back the tomb and sent Jesus on his way, and Mary seen, shining more positive than negative, alive and well, good as truth. She gave him a kiss and she called him an angel, okay? And in reality check, that's how you shine. When you shine more positive than negative always, you shine like an angel of God, good as truth, more positive than anything negative that could destroy you as a reflection of your reality. And again, all creation of existence is made of atom matter, okay? And this atom matter evolved is the shape, form, and mass of whatever it is expressing as existence. And if you don't know that there's nothing bad, evil, or sinful, right, you won't know always to bring all of those things, those negative things, only back to a more positive, enlightened state, good as truth. And this is the reality check of the world. And it's because of a faithful articulation around the world from the she, he shafting devil of us. See, anywhere faith states it's no good as truth. Now, all faith has positive variables, but none is lasting good as truth. And when you take on this faith, right, and you don't know how to equate out all the things that are bad, evil, and sinful, because you don't have good gnosis, good knowledge, as truth about the world around you, right? To know that all these things are just negative, well, then you crisscross blind leading blind. And this is the reality check of our lawmakers, okay, and our law enforcers, because they create prisons, wars, jails, right? Victims and crooks, the convicts of us, when all they should do is only make all parties involved more positive for their leadership always to state us good as truth. And in reality check, they didn't do Jesus that way, and it's the same unevolved system of reality check today. And everywhere faith is stated, it's stated as a police state, meaning it's a state of control. But this control, right, only dictates to the power heads, meaning blindly we believe, right, that jails, prisons, and wars are some sort of positive, some sort of bizarro world positive way for us, but it's not. You hear me? Nobody wants to fight or hurt or destroy people who are more positive than negative to them. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy, but it also doesn't mean that in reality that these jails, prisons, and wars are a necessary evil, because they're not. There's no such thing as a necessary evil. All there is blind fools of faith who don't understand that every time they cross negative with negativity, they grow this negativity. You understand? Blind leading blind. And that's why all over the world, right, the more they do it, the worse crime gets, the worse people have become. You understand? And I'll show you something else too, right? When you don't know, as a lawmaker or a judge or a prosecutor or the governance of people, right, that things don't cross bad, evil, and sinful, right? That those are just negative to what's more positive to keep people good as truth, right? Then you're not recognizing reality for what it is, and you're unqualified to deal with reality for what it is. You see? And this is why you create these prisons, wars, and jails, these conflicts and convicts, is because you have no mind to understand your job qualifications as truth. To keep all reality check of mankind only good. And it's a sad state of affairs. And this is what's happening. You are made of a body of atoms, and these atoms can only produce out one way to keep you holy and good as truth, and that's more positive than anything negative about you, okay? That's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And when you cross blind leading blind with faith, right? No faith is only good as truth, or that's all we would be for our faith. But in reality check, it's always negatively less than more positive to keep all it embodies of matter good as truth. And inside every atom of your matter, right, are protons and neutrons, and on the outside is the electron field. Okay, and depending on how you're taking in reality around you, right, either more positive to keep you good, by your polarity, right? Or more negative, right? The good truth of nothing by the polarity of all negativity, right? It's the absolute of all things good as truth, the one nothing of them to be negative, okay? It's depending on on how your embodiment of matter is in either a good state of being or in a good for nothing state of decay and disintegration to the reality check of you. But it's the bad, evil, sinful way of nothing. And those three articulations are just unevolved expressions of your faith. And they're unequated expressions of your faith that have no mind to know that these things are just negative as hell and they always need to be brought back good as truth to your bonding atom matter, that you're only expressed here and now one way, more positive than any negativity would not have you here and now, good as truth. Okay? But like I said, on the inside of these atoms are protons and neutrons. And the protons are two up quarks, one down quark, and the neutrons are two down quarks, one up quark. And every time you cross negative with negativity, right? It's a snake of faith on the neutron of you, because the only way you can cross negative with negativity is with the faith of you, because all else is only crossing more positive than negative always to keep them good as truth. And all else is the faith of you. Okay? If you're not crossing more positive than negative always to be good as truth by that articulation, all you have is faith. And that faith states that things cross bad, evil, and sinful. So you're not always equating yourself to a more positive protonic state to the reality check of your neutrons. And the proton has to always overwhelm any neutronic matter of you. See, the proton is the energy of you. It's the Holy Spirit of your bonding matter, okay? And just like the sun, if it doesn't shine more positive than any neutronic energy of the earth, right? No life as we know it can sustain. It would not exist, okay? And it's the same with your body. If you don't shine more positive than anything negative about it, right, to keep you good as truth, your life can't keep existing. And we've been told that this neutron is neutral, but the neutron is never neutral. The neutron is the matter of you and the soul of you, and it's a total opposite polarity than the proton of you. And they do cancel each other out, these two energies, okay? Because by polarity, a neutron is negative of a proton, okay? And here's the thing. Even if the neutron turns into a proton, it's still negative of a neutron. So in reality, it's like plugging a plug into the wall, right? If that positive energy doesn't always overwhelm anything negative of the matter of the plug, you could either burn your house down, right? Or there won't be enough energy to sustain your home, okay? Well, when your body, right, takes on too much negative energy and these neutrons turn into protons, well, that's all right if you could exist as just the light of you, but in reality check, you have a body for a reason, and without flesh in the game, it's the one nothing of you, good as truth here and now to the reality check of your shape, form, and mass. So you don't want to turn into light, and you don't want to not have enough energy to sustain your bonding fiber, the bonding elements of your atom matter to keep you good as truth. Okay? And like I said, that proton has to always overwhelm the negative charge of the neutron. Because if not, it's like on the outside of an atom. When a neutron isn't overwhelmed by a more protonic energy source, like in a neutron star, it becomes a pulsar, erratic with this negative energy, okay? And eventually it can't sustain it. And its matter collapses into a black hole abyss of the one nothing just negative of the neutrons start here and now forevermore. And this is what you do to your body when you crisscross with faith on your neutrons, a snake of energy on your neutrons, okay? It's the he shafting devilish hills of all things, people, places, and things. And it's the decay and disintegration of you, either over time or through extremes, nutty and fruity as a bushwhack on your life, to the one nothing of you here and now, just a black hole abyss on yourself, your life, and your embodiment of matter, to the one nothing of you here and now, infinitely with the devilish hells of you. Can't be no other way. That's a fact of God check. God, truth, a reality check. And like I said, as long as you don't go splat, right? You can always do something more positive from the mind through the body to the world to keep your life good as truth. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. But when you don't, all you have is faith, and faith is always negatively deficient of only being more positive always to keep you good as truth. I mean, all faith has positive variables, right? But in reality check, if you don't know that the bad, evil, sinful way of you by articulation, okay, is only negative to you, is all that's just a bunch of negativity, and you don't always cross that negativity back more positive to the reality check of you to keep you good as truth, you're always in a state of decay and disintegration for it, aging out over time or with extremes to the one neutral nothing of you here and now. And this is why Jesus and the thief were able to steal their lives back from all them fools of faith that put him on the cross. And the other fool of faith hung himself out and his life out to one neutral nothing, just negative of the here and now of him, infinitely forevermore. The state of one more positive again, with all you are, than a negative matter, is the only light, joy, warmth, good God, or truth, holy with spirit, all will ever know or be. It's the state that all embody a matter of shape, form, and mass of atom matter evolved is stated good to the truth of God of their shape, form, and mass, only crossing bigger and better than all negativity. It's the substance, durability, and solidness. It is the value and volume of all shape, form, and mass, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity. With you, me, the buildings, trees, every body of everything, creation applied one to the here and now existence of all God, truth, reality check. And like I've stated in many other videos, when our leadership, right, states that things cross people, places, and things cross bad, evil, and sinful, and they create victims and crooks, prisons, jails, wars, the conflicts, convicts of us, right? Their leadership and judgment are unqualified to be good as truth, okay? And they are the he shafting devils and the hells of all mankind, because if the only leadership of you is not bringing you back to a more positive, enlightened state, they don't recognize that anything bad, evil, and sinful about life is just negative of the here and now. They are unqualified. They are unqualified with their judgment, their governance, their prosecutions, and all the other negative things that they're creating from it. The prisons, jails, wars, victims, and crooks, conflicts, convicts of us, because all else would just take that negativity, all that negativity for what it is, and cross it back more positive always to keep all they are of leadership and mankind good as truth, because all else, right, is only teaching suicide to all they love, cherish, and hate. Don't hate. That's a fact of God check. That's God, truth, a reality check. Peace.